morning children. Today we'll start with a new lesson, a polar explorer, which is lesson number 3. Now this story is written by Clary Horsburgh. Now before starting with the chapter, I would like to talk about the author. Now, have you ever seen the first book of your literature? Read a book. Have you read what it is? Revised New Oxford Modern English. Now, who are the authors? David Horsburgh, Nicholas Horsburgh, and Clary Horsburgh. Now, Clary Horsburgh, who is one of the writer of the New Oxford Modern English. She is also the writer of this story, the Polar Explorer. Now, Clary. Let's start with Clary. Clary was famous in the education world. She was a teacher in UK. And she had a very close connection. Now, Nicholas was Clary's father. And daughter and the father had a very close relationship. Now, if you go over here to page number 3, you will find the brief about the author's family. Now, before David Horsburgh, he started with the children's book, and then he died in 1984. Then Nicholas, his father, his son completed the work in 1985, and after that, consequently, he continued working with his father's profession, doing the workshop with the children and in the school all over the India. And then they gathered up the new materials regarding the studies about the education and exercises to how to improve it. And then in 1993, 203, 208 and 213, all the books of this name of Oxford, Oxford School Education, New Oxford, Modern English, has been comprised by him, and comprised by all the stories by him. Then after that, his daughter, which is the third generation of the Horsburgh, and she continued finally involving with the education project, how to make the material, how to make the education, the stories, the exercise interesting for the children to study. Children, what does explorer mean? Explorer means a person who travels to a new or unfamiliar place to discover. Right? Now, who was the explorer? The explorer was Roald Amundsen. In fact, his full name is Roald Engelbert Graving Amundsen. Right? His full name is this. So please remember the full name because it will be asked in the question. And he was born in July 16, 1872 in Borg, which is near Oslo, near Norway. And he died in June 18, 1928. How he died, he faced his death, it is not known. But while he was returning back from his South Pole expedition in the Arctic Ocean, he and his crew died. But only one person was rescued. His name is Noble. His name is Noble, and he was the only person who returned back. Noble. He was the only person who returned back after many years. Right. Then he was the first person to reach South Pole. And the name of the ship which he used to explore out in the ship in this ocean was George. Right. Now, children, if you read the book, like if you see through the name, you might think that this story must be very boring. It is a autobiography, but this story must be very boring. But no, if you go in deep and study about this Norwegian explorer, you will find some interesting experiences which he had while he was traveling, while he was on the voyage, sailing in the ocean. How much difficulties he had to face during crossing through the frozen rivers, cutting down the icebergs and all. So he had faced many difficulties. You will find it very interesting. Now, some of the achievement which he has done was, he was the first to make a ship voyage through the Northwest Passage and first to cross the Arctic by air. Now, the name of the ship was Gorge. The name of the ship was Gorge. And then, like he with his crew, they were traveling during this expedition only, but they had to return back due to the ice and the weather, which their ship was facing problem. So they returned back. When they returned back there, he and his crews were welcomed grandly by his people, Norwegian. And then he was planning to go to the expedition to North Pole. When he was heading, he came to know that already an American explorer whose name was Robert E. Percy. It's not written in the book, so please hear it. So, the American explorer Robert E. Percy in 1909, he had already reached there. So, he returned back. Still, he announced that he would be going to the North Pole for the expedition. But in June 1910, he said that he and his crew was leaving for North Pole, but instead of North Pole, he left for South Pole. Right. Everyone thought that he has gone to North Pole, but only his brother knew that his brother has gone for the expedition to North Pole. This is South Pole. Now, South Pole expedition also has a very interesting story of his. He also has one British explorer whose name was Robert Falcon Scott. His name was he was not a British, but he was an English explorer. His name was Robert Falcon Scott. He also had set it with his crew to the North Pole expedition. Now, when they reached to the Arctic base is a place where to that point only the ship can travel, and after that it cannot proceed. So that is the base. Base. They halted over there, both of them. Now, since Amundsen had a great experience with the ice and iceberg, they had to proceed further. So their main motive, their primary goal, both the explorer, Robert and Amundsen, their main motto was to reach the requirement, that is food requirement, because if his crews went over there and if they stayed hungry, because in the ice place you don't get any eatable outlets or anyone who will come forward to help you out with the food. So their primary goal was to deposit the food to the North Pole base. So since I told you that Amundsen had a great experience, what he did, he sent with four companions and 32 dogs and 4 sledge with his foods for rest of his crew. He sent it to the North Pole, to the highest peak of the North Pole, through his men. Whereas Robert, who had lacked of knowledge, he depended on the Siberian pony. Siberian pony is a sort of a horse and ass. So they on the ice, the pony they are unable to run or unable to they can only walk. They will walk and carry the stuffs to that particular place. So when they reached and after that Amundsen, he reached to the North Pole. He was the first to reach the North Pole on December 14 in 1911, right? Whereas the other explorer, I was talking about Robert Falcon Scott, the English explorer with whom he was having a competition to reach first to the South Pole. In January 17. He reached the South Pole in January 17 when Amundsen reaching over there, he took all the records and scientist data, whatever required, and he left that South Pole and returned back to his base. And he and his crew went back to the journey to go back to their house when the English explorer reached over there. Right, this is the story. Now children, take out your book, page number 35, lesson number 3, a polar explorer. Please also have a pencil with you. Whatever meaning I am talking about or whatever point I am talking about, and if you desire to write, please write it out. But the meaning you should be writing in your books. Underline the words and write the meaning. Right. Page number 35. Roald Amundsen was born in Norway in 1872. As a child, he read about famous British explorer. He joined as many sports teams as a child and slept with his window wide open despite the freezing cold, the Norwegian winter, so that he would be fit, strong and ready if he got the chance to be an explorer. Now over here, Roald Amundsen, he says that when he was born, we know that he was born in Norway, so his citizenship is Norwegian. So when he was a child, he was fascinated by the British explorer. Explorer is the person who explores, who travels to new places or unfamiliar places for some discovery. Right. So what he did, he joined the sports team and he kept his windows wide open in spite of this strong cold wind blowing in. Why? Despite means without being affected. Even the cold strong wind of the Norwegian this area never affected him. It never affected him. Why? He was making himself fit to face that cold winter, the cold winter. Now, what type of Norwegian winter is? Please, it's written over here. The cold type of Norwegian winter means very cold with strong winds, with lots of snows. But in the summers, like it's just the opposite. It is warm, mild, and clear. Clear means there is no rains in it. No rains, no precipitation of ice, snowfall, yes, ice flake, nothing. No rain. And over here in the Norwegian, in Norwegian the temperature is -30. Now, Amundsen's family worked in the shipping industry, but his mother wanted him to avoid the dangers of a life at sea. So she encouraged. Encouraged means to give support. Encouraged means to give support. Like they were already working in the shipping industry, and his mother never wanted him to face any dangerous situation, dangerous condition of sea life. So she always supported him, encouraged him to become a doctor. Now, Amundsen was a very obedient child. He wanted to fulfill his mother's ambition, aim. So he obeyed his mother's wishes, and while continuing to read about explorer, he read about the medicine, as well as he never left his interest, his fascination towards the going out in the voyage in the sea. When he was 21 years old, his mother died, and Amundsen left university and began his life as an explorer. Now, when he was 21, so at what age his mother died? 21. So his mother died. When he died, he was alone. Now he can do anything in his life he wished. So what he did, like he left the university where he was fulfilling his mother's desire, which was to become a doctor. He began the life as an explorer. Explorer means, again I am saying, it means a person who travels new or unfamiliar area to discover new areas. In the early expedition, now what does expedition mean? Expedition means a journey undertaken by a group of men. So, in early expedition, Amundsen was part of crew. So before he went as a part of to other ship as a crew member, he watched. Now here it shows that he was an observant. Now please underline here. He watched, listened, and learned some useful skills. Since he had no idea, so what he did, he was a part of, he went as a crew. He made a close observant to learn to become an independent. So he watched, listened, and learned some skillful skills. Once a ship trapped in ice, he observed how the doctor's hunting skill provide the crew with fresh meat and kept them free from scurvy. Scurvy is a disease caused by a lack of vitamin C. It can lead to illness, loss of teeth, and death from bleeding. Now, over here, when he was working as a crew member, he observed that one day his ship got trapped in the ice, and then how these crew members very skillfully they removed the ice, because in the whole area, it generally the people suffer from scurvy. Because why? Because it is the symptoms are what? The symptoms are the body gets swollen up, the gums get swelling up, and this thing, you start losing teeth. It start like, if you have a wound, your wound start this thing bleeds out. So these are the symptoms. So this thing, the doctors like who are skillful skillful for hunting, what they do, they provide their crew members the fresh meat, fresh meat, not frozen meat, fresh meat, so that they do not suffer from this disease, right? Now, when he was 21 years old, when Amundsen became the leader of expedition with his own ship, and his name was Goj. I told you now, please underline it and remember the name, Goj. The ship is still on display at the famed museum in Oslo. It is still kept in the museum. Now, from 1903 to 1906, Amundsen took a crew of 6 men on board on an expedition to find a route through the Northwest Passage. The Northwest Passage is the name of the sea route. Northwest Passage is not the name, place or say, it is the name of a sea route. Now, Northwest Passage is the name of the sea route through the Arctic Ocean from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Now, which way does Northwest Passage lies? It lies between the Arctic Ocean to this Atlantic Ocean to Pacific. Pacific means peaceful. So, due to very cold temperature, the area is frozen over most of the time. But for a short while, every year, the ice around the land in the north of Canada can break up enough to allow the vessel through. Now, since if you recall your geography, like Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean is where? Atlantic Ocean is between America and Africa, and Africa, or you say Europe. So when you are proceeding towards the Arctic Ocean, which is going upwards to the North Pole, so these areas like the temperature out over there are generally very low. It goes to -13. The Siberian countries have to -53. Even the ice, when they go out, they have snowfalls collected on their islands. So, like it was very frozen those times. During that time, and the vessels of the vessel means the ship. Vessel means the ship were not able to break the ice. Now, Rhodes was small enough to pass through these water and over a shallow means deep area that would have wrecked. Wrecked means badly damaged. So, Rhodes, like his ship was small, so like it could have gone, but the ice are very dangerous. They can even kill you also. They can even hurt you also very badly. Like so, and the water was very deep also. So during and they were thinking like whether if they go, their ship might get damaged. So bigger ship was required. During the winter, when the ship was frozen within ice, the crew watched the Inuit people who lived there and picked up important Arctic survival skills, such as using dogs to travel by sledge. Now, during the winter, like what do they do? They don't travel. They make their ship halt at particular place, and their true people watches the in-unit people. What are in-unit people? A member of an individual people of North Canadian and parts of Greenland and Alaska. They watch their lifestyle. That even like it is frozen throughout the year, how do they survive? How do they live? How do they face the difficulties, the cold weather which they come across? These people, he and his people used to watch it closely. So children, survival means to live in difficult circumstances, and survival skill means technique that a person may use in order to sustain life in any type of environmental circumstances. Sustain means bear the situation. So these they learnt it. He was watching all those skills, such as using dogs to travel by sledge. Like the Eskimo people, like they travel there from one place to another. They travel by sledge. Now, what is a sledge? A sledge is a vehicle run over snow or ice, and they are pulled by the animals. These are used on great expeditions or to the North Pole. Amundsen also stocked up on furs to wear, which were much warmer than the woolen clothes he had. Now what he did, he stocked up, matlab he had collected more of furs to wear, so that they can keep themselves warmer. They never took the clothes or much clothes or something like that, but they gathered more of clothes which had furs in it. Now getting to the North Pole was a challenge. First Amundsen tried to go by ship, but it got stuck to ice. Now first, like he wanted to go by the ship to the North Pole, but what happened? Since there were lots of ice and the sea was frozen, so it became a great challenge for him. The challenge for him, why? Because his ship got stuck. He had to think of another way to achieve his goal and decide to travel by plane. So he was thinking for another way, because his real motto was to somehow reach to the North Pole anyhow. So he decided that instead of going by the ship, he decided to go by air, that is plane. The first attempt in 1925 was dangerous and unsuccessful. In 1925, the first attempt which he made to North Pole was very dangerous and it could not succeed. He could not get the good result of it. Finally, in 1926, Amundsen made it to the North Pole. Three of the other people also over here claimed specially to have got to the North Pole before Amundsen, but all of these have been disputed and disagreed with something or the other to whatever they are saying. Now, although Amundsen in 1926 he reached to North Pole, but there were three more explorers which they were claiming that they had reached North Pole and they were the first one to discover North Pole. So North Pole first. But hence, when their statements were being matched, there was a debate. It never matched to each other. Right, but it is said that the first person who reached over there to North Pole is Robert E. Percy, who was an American explorer. Amundsen's skill and preservation made him the first person to be able to come that he had been to both the poles. Now, Amundsen's skill, the abilities. Now, preservation means continue effort to do or achieve something. the other three were like they were debating with each other. The result was not coming out, but with his abilities and his continuous effort, it is said that he was the first person to reach the North Pole, both the poles. Like he said that his success comes from proper preparation and having a appropriate equipment. Proper, like the success comes, like he said, he gave all the credit for the achievement to his proper preparation and appropriate equipment. Appropriate equipment means the right tools right tools he had taken, which was suited at the particular at that proper demand. The equipment means tools. Appropriate means suitable or proper use. Suitable means appropriate means suitable and proper use. So he said, victory awaits him who has everything in order. Manson wrote about his experiences in his autobiography, My Life as an Explorer. He has also mentioned that about his success in his autobiography. What do you mean by autobiography? The person himself writes about his achievement, about his life, and it is told to the people who read. So it is called autobiography. So what was the name of the book which he had written? My Life as an Explorer. One day, one of the boys and I were standing on the deck when one of them exclaimed, "What an Carduus!" Carduus means what a large North American deer. He pointed out to a small black object just on the skyline of one of the encircling hills enclosure. He pointed out to a small black object to the sky, and he said that there is a big American deer. Now the other man who had the best vision of the tree looked fastly at the black object for a moment, and then he turned to his companion. Now there was another person, like crew member, standing on the deck. He had a good vision, like he looked very closely. Steadfast means steadfast means to look closely. Right, steadfast means to look closely. Look closely to examine the black object, and then he turned to his companion. Companion means his friend, and he told him that Carduus walked on two legs. Sure enough, close incinerator confirmed his quick perception, and this was not a Carduus. Now he says, like, after having a close look, it is not Carduus, it is something else. What is it? It is an Eskimo. Now some other two-legged Carduus joined the first until 5 figures were outlined against the sky. When they advanced towards us in a body, I sent the two boys to for their rifles, and when the three of us advanced to meet them, I was in the lead, and behind me came my little crew army of two. As the Eskimos neared us, came near, we saw that they were all armed with bows and arrows. Now, that was the black object which they pointed out. They thought that it was a American deer, but it was actually what? It was Eskimo. And what he did, he asked his men to bring the rifle so that they can go and meet them. And as they were they thought it was too Then as they were proceeding further, they saw there was many people with bow and arrow advancing towards them. Now this began to look like a ticklish. Ticklish, what does ticklish means? A delicate situation to be handled. Ticklish means a delicate situations to be handled. We had no way of knowing whether their intention means their motto, their aim, were friendly or hostile. They never understood whether their situation at that moment was friendly. The Eskimo which was proceeding towards them was friendly or dangerous. Certainly there were equipments for wars. However, there was nothing to do but meet them face to face. The two parties proceeded to within 15 space means gap. Now, although they were not sure whether it was a friendly encounter or war, hostile encounter. So what he did, because why? Because he was also carrying rifle with them, and they were also carrying war equipment with them. And the two parties, they were walking. They had 15 meters. They were about 15 space. There was space, and then they halted. Well, after 15 meters of gap, they halted. I turned to my army and instructed them means gave order to throw their rifles on the ground. I then turned to the Eskimos. The leaders, seeing this specific move, intimated it by turning to his followers and uttered a command. They obeyed by throwing their bows and arrows on the ground. I was unarmed and advanced towards them. The Eskimos leader also came out alone. Now over here, what he did, all of a sudden, Amundsen, what he did, he gave instruction to his army to throw the rifle down, and the Eskimos also intimated them like that, and they threw. So in one way, they knew that there were not going to be war or any fight among them. So now now what he did, now Amundsen proceed alone, and from the other side the Eskimos leader also came out from his group alone towards to meet Eskimo. It was remarkable how accurately two men can communicate. Communicate means talk. Remarkable means very beautifully, but both the men spoke to each other. Who did not speak a word of a common language, and remarkable beautifully, they never knew the language of each other. Amundsen never knew the language of the Eskimos, and the Eskimos also never knew the language of the explorers. But very beautifully, they understood each other, the language and what they wanted to say. From the expression of the face, nodding of the head, shaking of the heads, gesture of the body, tone of the voice, and conveyed all the meaning of astonished accuracy. Astonishing accuracy means surprising accuracy. Correct indication they were giving to the to the other side person, and they were understanding each and everything what they wanted to speak to one another. By this, I quickly convinced the Eskimo leader, and I wished to his friend, and he reciprocated my wish, and soon we were all friends and invited them down to our ship. And While they were having the communication, they understood, and what they did, they by their sign they invited them to their ship to come and see their ship. Children, through their gesture, through their body, their action, their voice, their hand movement, they communicated with each other, and they both of them easily understood without any problem. In June 1928, aged 55, Amundsen was traveling in a plane on a rescue mission to save somebody. When it disappeared means vanished. Amundsen and the rest of the crew were never seen again. So it is said that when they were rescued, they were in a mission, so they disappeared and they were not being able to be seen again. Now over here, the differences of North Pole and the South Pole, which has been concluded at the end of the chapter. On the continent of Antarctica, 1500 kilometers from the sea. In the North Pole, in the middle of the Antarctic Ocean, which is a mass of shifting ice, shifting sea ice. Then in the South Pole, we'll see the land is covered in ice and snow. How many meters thick? 27 meters thick it is covered. And in the North Pole, the ice cap is sprinkling due to the climate change. Like it is always covered with the ice cap. No sunlight from March to September in North Pole. No sunlight from September to March. Then the sun rays on the horizon from September to March, the sun rises, and at that time when in the North Pole, the sun rises in the north and sets in the west. In the South Pole, no native plants or animals are seen or spotted over there, but in South Pole, seals have been spotted at the North Pole, and polar bears and Arctic foxes are sometimes seen nearby. Then the last point, then it is South Pole is polar than the North Pole. In the North Pole warmer than the South Pole, but still very cold. As I told you, North Pole has a very cold year, but during the summer it is clear, warm, but but the skies are clear. So therefore it is cold still. Scientists live in US, Amundsen spot ice station all year round. The name of the station, the base I was talking about, the name of this base has been given as Amundsen spot, because I told you Robert Percy Scott has also gone to the South Pole. It is said that he was the first one to reach over there. Right. So the station is open, and the scientist also stays over there. And in North Pole, nearby inhabitants land is a Canadian town, about 870 kilometers away. Right. So over there, the inhabitants, they live in a land it is a Canadian town. It has formed a town over there. Now, children, this is all. I know the story might be boring you up, but if you go through his autobiography and through the video, through the YouTube or other videos, you will find it interesting. Now, I'll be also attaching the PDF. Please go write it down in your book, in your copy. That's it for the day. Have a good day.